CJ. Who wants to start?
Gary's out. Typically day-to-day soreness or?
Yeah, just day to day. Yeah. Otto. I think he took a shot to the knee the other night on that spot, and so it's sore. But he had an MRI and it was clear. So just day to day.
Did you see it over the course of your career? I'm curious if you can kind of describe the sort of mental stress that Steph put on his offense.
Recording in progress.
Well, it's unique because he does it on and off the ball. You know, most people it's one or the other. But with Steph, he stresses the defense in either manner. So it just increases the amount of court that you have to cover to guard him. And
Now we got to go ahead and tell him the stuff you're going to tell him earlier.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I think that's what makes him unique is that you know.
Feel like they're worth more than these 9 points. You see that, like that three-quarter that feels like.
I think you definitely see more timeouts from opposing coaches when Steph makes a shot, you know, than when just anybody makes a shot. You know, if he hits a long one in transition, we get into a little groove. He hits another one. It's like you can sense the fear, you know, and it makes sense. I mean, it really gets our team going, and so coaches are always trying to avoid that huge momentum shift that he provides. Just being a 19-year-old rookie, you know, without much experience, it's you're not going to get the same effort every single night because there's new stuff, you know, coming at him, and it's a long season. It's a mental test just as much as a physical one to play 82 games, and so I sensed the last couple of games he slowed down in transition. You know, didn't run as hard in transition, didn't dive to the rim on his DHOs and screens, and the things that we were harping on earlier in the season we're kind of harping on again. So maybe a little bit of regression, but that's to be expected.
With how important Draymond obviously is for the team, what's been your evaluation on what you liked from the group and what needs more work?
Well, I think until the last couple of weeks, we held our own defensively. We weren't great, but we weren't bad. And frankly, the last couple of weeks we've been bad, and that's where Draymond makes a dramatic difference. The other area is his ability to direct the offense and handle the ball, get Steph off the ball. The other night was Steph looked more like a normal NBA point guard than I've seen him maybe at any time in his career, meaning, you know, he was just in pick and roll over and over and over again. Draymond as a point forward, Andre also, those guys are able to push the ball, get us organized, get Steph off the ball, and change the look, change the strategy for us, which is a big part of our offense. And so we've become a little bit more predictable without Draymond.
Yeah. Was talking about the difficulty of replacing Anthony Davis and Draymond in the same context where there just aren't guys that do the things.
Yeah.
How do you try to coach with that without getting too outside of the system? And what's that been like the last year?
Well, for us, what's been missing is the basics. So you're not going to replace Draymond, but if you're missing box outs and allowing cutters to cut through the lane, then you're really in trouble. So if we can just take care of the basics, then we're going to eliminate a lot of mistakes and give ourselves a much better chance to win. And I think that's the key. I mean, the effort is there. We have great guys. They play hard every night. But we've got to be more mindful. You know, the other night in Dallas, we fouled Luka twice in the first 2 minutes on plays that should absolutely not be fouls. And but we reached on one, we slapped him on the arm on a shot. Next play, we give up an offensive board because we don't box out. And it's all of a sudden, I think 14-7, and we're, swimming upstream. So that has nothing to do with Draymond. And that's what we're trying to get across to our guys is, it's just the basics, and it's attention to detail. It's mindfulness. It's awareness of what wins. Winning is just a matter of making, a whole bunch of simple plays that are meaningful. Boxing out, making the simple pass, not letting your guy back cut you for a layup. All those things. The game is just filled with, decision making that at both ends of the floor. And if your decision making is poor, you just dramatically decrease your chance of winning.
Regular seasons are doldrums, right? February and March and playoffs are 6 weeks away.
Yeah, I think there is some of that. And I think every team has felt that at some level. And then it feels like just the way the season has gone with injuries and COVID related stuff, that every team has had some stretches. We played Miami, and I don't know that they had more than one starter in their lineup, and so we are feeling it now. Phoenix is feeling it now, where you miss a couple of key guys, but every other team has felt that. Brooklyn. I didn't even recognize their team a couple of weeks ago watching them on TV. So the whole league's dealing with it. So the key is, can you capture some momentum and some health down the stretch and into the playoffs? And that's what we're trying to do. I didn't know that. That's a pretty impressive stat. He's way better defensively than people give him credit for. He's smart and he's tough. He's on the ball. He puts a lot of pressure off the ball. He's done a great job this year of tagging rollers and getting back out to shooters and being really smart and aware. I think he's gotten a lot better since I first got here 7.5 years ago, whatever it was. He's a much better defender now, and that's just strength, focus, putting in all the work that he's put in. So he's really a good defender, and that's a great yet another milestone first half. I think everybody's a little frustrated, with the losing. I mean, you lose 7 of 9, it doesn't feel good. So the team's frustrated, the staff's frustrated, but we also are very confident that we're going to get it turned around and have a good run, here down the last 19 games. Rebounding, size, passing. I think it all makes sense against the Lakers, and we've been starting Gary, and it's basically been a pretty small lineup, 1 through 4. And so I kind of like the idea of getting Otto back out there. His minutes restriction has been raised as well, so we're able to be able to play him down the stretch if we want, even if he starts. And he's done a great job as a starter this year.
I have one on Zoom from Connor back home. Connor, go ahead.
Hey, Steve. This is kind of random, but do you think a prospect can adequately prepare for the NBA just by spending the year leading up to the draft focused on skill and strength training and not necessarily playing games? I ask because there's a growing contingent of people who believe college doesn't adequately prepare players for the NBA. and they'd be better off just doing individual work with coaches and trainers?
I'm of the belief that players need reps. They need to play a lot of basketball. I like to seeing guys play meaningful games, whether it's internationally or collegiately. I think that all matters. But there's no simple formula for one size fits all. I think everybody's a little different, but I do think that a lot of the young guys who come in today, they need to play more. James Wiseman needs 1,000 reps. Jonathan Kuminga needs 1,000 reps. These guys haven't had the reps. So they've had a lot of individual skill work, and they're incredibly talented physically and with the ball, but they need to see and feel everything. So, that's my thought. I don't know how that fits into, what your story is, but
You just crushed it.
For
did I
sure.
ruin it? Go ask somebody else then.
Get it?
Thanks.
Thank you.